Today we are going to discuss about anatropous ovule, particularly female anatropous ovule. It is a female reproductive part in plants. So here I have actually drawn the figure of anatropous ovule. Let me discuss about one by one. While drawing, you have to draw first oval shape inside it. This oval shape is nothing but a embryo sac, which is shown here in orange color for sake of convenience. This embryo sac consists three antipodal cells, which are shown at the uppermost end, which having three cells, three nucleus structure, three antipodal cells, three nucleuses. While centrally placed polar nuclei is there. This polar nuclei has two nucleuses, one cell, that is one polar nuclei means one cell, and it has two nucleuses are there. While one egg cell at the bottom position of the embryo sac, which is shown in green color, while two red color cells are shown, which are known as synergids. These synergids have finger-like projections, and these finger-like projections are known as filiform apparatus. So this is the embryo sac there. This embryo sac has 7-celled 8-nucleate structure. How it is 7-celled 8-nucleate structure? It has 3 antipodal cells which has 3 nucleuses, while one polar nuclei which consists 2 nucleuses, and that's why here one cell is there and 2 nucleus is there. While one egg cell is there which has one nucleus as well. Two synergids are there. These two synergids having two nucleuses there. That's why the count of cell is 7 cell, while the count of nucleus is there 8. That's why we say that the embryo sac has 7-celled 8-nucleate structure. Embryo sac is covered by nucellus. Nucellus is nothing but a parenchymatous, made up of parenchymatous tissue, which is protective in nature as well as nutritive in nature, which provides nutrition to the embryo sac, and it has the protective purpose also for the delicate structure of the embryo sac. Then this nucellus is also covered by 2 or 1 layer of integument. If only a single layer is there, then, or only a single integument is there, then this type of ovule is called as unitegmic. But here I have drawn the 2 integuments, that is, one is inner integument and a second one is the outer integument. This such type of structure is called as bitegmic ovule. In bitegmic ovule, after the development, inner integument forms a tegmen, that is the seed cover, and outer integument forms a testa, that is a seed coat. Testa and tegment respectively forms by outer and inner integument. So these integuments have one pore. In most of the cases, particularly 80% of angiosperms shows the anatropous ovule, since it has a micropyle from the lower side, that is from the bottom side. This is known as micropyle, which is a pore which provides the entry of the pollen tube. Always there is no entry takes place from the micropyle. There is 3 types of positions or the entry sites for the pollen tube, which we are going to discuss afterwards. Then integuments are also, or the topmost region, which is a thick region, which is called as chalaza, which is nothing but a protective part. Then chalaza and overall body of the anatropous ovule joined to the funicle with a neck-like projection, which is called as hilus. And this funicle, nothing but a stalk of the anatropous ovule. This funicle has inside it, there is a raphe. This raphe is a supportive dense connective tissue. So cunicle and raphe provides respectively the protection as well as the attachment and as well as the support to the body of the anatropous ovule. This is nothing but an overall structure of the anatropous ovule. If the pollen tube enters from the chalaza, it is called as chalazogamy. If pollen tube enters through the other sides of the, rather than chalaza and micropyle, this is called as mesogamy. If the pollen tube enters through the micropyle for the fertilization, then it is called as porogamy, nature of the fertilization, which we are going to discuss afterwards in some other lectures. So this is nothing but the overall structure of the anatropous ovule. That is, if micropyle is present at the lower end, this is called as geotropic, while it is present at the upper end, it is phototropic condition. So micropyle here, in 80% of the angiosperm, micropyle is present at the lower end, that is towards the earth end. So most of the anatropous ovules shows this type of the structure, and as well most of the anatropous ovules in angiosperms shows outer and inner integument respectively. That's why they form testa and tegmen. So this is nothing but the overall structure of the female anatropous ovule in angiosperms. Thank you very much.